Today, we will be chatting family leave policies and how they could expand and strengthen the American workforce. We're joined now by Ben Gitis, Bipartisan Policy Center's Senior Policy Analyst. Ben, thanks so much for joining us. So let's start with how badly, these expanded family leave policies are needed right now, especially after we've just gone through a pandemic where so many people had to leave the workforce to take on caregiving duties.
Certainly. We found that in our survey, caregiving played a very significant role in leading people to stop working. In particular, the survey suggests that the equivalent of about 10 million people stopped working due to caregiving responsibilities over the last year. And paid family leave was a major factor that helped people stay in the workforce and would help others go back to work going forward. In particular, we found that half of unemployed workers say that they'd be more likely to go back to work if they had paid family leave.
Ben, what are you looking to the Biden administration to do in terms of, I guess, beefing up family leave policy that's already in place?
So the Biden administration has put forward a proposal as part of their American Families Plan, and it's a welcoming sign that they've made this a priority. And because it is a benefit that would help many go back to work, I would argue that the better road for them to pursue would be the tougher road, which is going through regular order and the committee process to build bipartisan support, because there is a strong bipartisan support and basis for these programs.
So let's highlight what exactly is needed. What are the specific points that you think could grow, perhaps folks that weren't included in previous leave policies that should be included now? Can you break down that plan, that ideal plan for us?
So paid family leave regularly covers three main forms of extended leave from work. One allows workers to temporarily step away for the birth or adoption of a new child. Another for family caregiving if someone becomes ill and requires your time away from work. And the other is for personal illness. And what studies show is that when workers don't have paid family leave and they come across these issues, they end up leaving the workforce altogether. Paid family leave gives them a tool to be able to remain connected to their job and return to work once they are able to address their personal needs.
How important are school openings playing a part in all of this? The fact that, we're hoping that schools can be open to the full extent come the fall, I'd imagine that helps working parents out immensely.
I believe it will help working parents out quite a bit when schools start to reopen. At the same time, caregiving in our survey suggests that it extended beyond childcare and also caregiving for ill family members resulting from widespread illness and for elderly dependents also played a significant role in hampering people's ability to work. And a related issue is that there is considerable fear among workers in terms of going back to the workforce. And paid family leave would really help provide them the comfort and really a tool for them to be able to know that if they come across an issue, they'll be able to take the time they need away from work and go back to a job.
I'm curious to know how long you think the lingering effects from the pandemic and folks leaving the workforce, not just to take care of their children, as you're highlighting, which, as Alexis is mentioning, schools reopening should alleviate that problem, but taking care of elderly parents that might have gotten sick throughout this pandemic. How long do you think the pandemic's effects will continue to weigh, at least when it comes to caregiving, on American families, even after the pandemic is over?
Well, this is a problem that predated the crisis. The United States is the only developed country in the world that does not have a paid family leave program that is mandated nationwide. And there are a number of areas of the workforce where workers, particularly low-wage workers, workers for smaller businesses, do not have access to this benefit. And so historically, that's where we see a lot of workers, particularly women, even before the pandemic, leaving the labor force when they do come across these caregiving responsibilities. And so even once schools reopen and widespread illness continues to decline, we'll still have that baseline problem of not having that tool to help workers balance family and work.
All right, Ben Gitis, Bipartisan Policy Center's Senior Policy Analyst. Thank you so much for joining us for our Funding Our Future segment. And Funding Our Future is an alliance of organizations dedicated to making a secure retirement possible for all Americans.